Facebook family and follow us on the go with Twitter. Visit WBIR.com to sign up today.
And welcome back. We're continuing our look now at the impact Apple CEO Steve Jobs had on technology as well as everyday life. And for that, we're joined by Dan Thompson from Claris Networks and Richard Rackley, president of Fountainhead College of Technology. Appreciate you both being with us. And We've been talking during the breaks about Steve Jobs. Obviously, this has impacted nearly everyone. I want to talk about kind of the shock waves within the tech community. It affected the average Joe, but even more so in this community. What have you seen today?
Well, I mean, just all the conversations on Twitter and Facebook. Of course, the internet last night was just a buzz with everybody talking, just the general shock. And of course, you had people who were skeptical at first just because there's so many, this so-and-so person died and then it turned out to be a hoax. So there's people who were skeptical at first, but then Apple came out and made the official announcement. And, I mean, we were all sad. Everybody in the technology community, obviously, it's always sad to see somebody go, especially who had so much impact like Steve Jobs did.
Yeah, I think most people just didn't want to believe it.
Right.
When they saw the news. You've interacted with students all day long. What's the reaction there?
Well, part of our training, we learn about these pioneers in technology, which Steve Jobs is one of the main ones. And so, we all know who he is, know the importance of what he did for technology. And so it's just kind of a quiet reflection, I guess. We put a sign up out front, and Steve Jobs, we put his dates and end of an era, because it really is. It's the end of an era for technology and how technology is being adapted to be used every day. As I sit here and hold an iPad, and we were talking earlier how almost everyone owns an Apple product of some kind. Even if they're a PC user, they probably have an iPhone or an iPad.
And with his technology, you go way back. We were just talking about the first computer you had in your home as a kid.
It's the Apple II Plus, yeah. A lot of kids in the neighborhood say the first time they ever saw a computer was on my dining room table, and that was an Apple II Plus with the green phosphorus screen. And, it was fantastic at the time, but and we've come a long way from that. Yeah,
we have, and it may seem insensitive to talk about today, but there are rumblings on the internet. We were talking off camera. Obviously, this isn't the first time that Steve left Apple. He resigned a few weeks ago, but before that, when he left the company, Apple took a nosedive.
Yep.
What's the talk and what's the thought process there as far as the future of Apple company?
Sure, yeah, and I guess what you're referencing is in 1997 when Steve Jobs came back. Apple was absolutely not doing well at all. So bad, in fact, that they accepted a bailout from Microsoft, which says something about your position at that point in time. But I think people are just using that as kind of fodder for conversation here today. And could that happen again? And I believe today we've got Tim Cook, who's running the company, who Steve Jobs himself handpicked. We know that Tim worked under Steve Jobs for at least 13 years. And we assume, since that he handpicked him, that he gets the vision, he knows where Steve Jobs really wanted to take the company. So I don't personally see just some kind of giant decline in Apple's success. I would stop short in saying that it couldn't happen, but I would be surprised, and I believe a lot of people in the technology community would be surprised if it did.
Well, and what happened before when Apple did take a nosedive is, without his visionary leadership, they just started morphing into a typical computer company, and they were making gray boxes and servers, and they started licensing out their products, not in a good way, and so they didn't know how to really run Apple, what he had envisioned. They knew how to run a computer company, and now there's only like 2 computer companies left in the world, anyway. So so as long as they focus on the lessons that he tried to teach them, I think they'll be fine.
Well, we'll have to leave it at that. He certainly created great groundwork, and he has left behind quite a legacy. Thank you, guys.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you being with us, and we're coming right back after